This will hopefully be a short video on canes made by Ed and walking sticks. Here are some of the ones we've done so far, and we'll show you close-ups of them later. This is where I sit and make the canes and the walking sticks. We have a bench and chair, and right there is one that we've made. It's hanging and drying after we put the finish on it. These are the tools we have at our disposal. We have a couple saws, files, a knife, a couple knives, plane, spoke shaver, some chisels, cordless screwdriver, and every now and then we get to borrow a belt sander, which makes the work a lot easier on the flat stock. Here's our work. And most of the handles are coped out with a coping saw, unless we get to borrow a jigsaw, which makes life a lot easier. These are some of the handles that we've worked on. Some are filed, some are not. This handle's in the rough stage. It needs to be filed up. This handle has been filed and sanded. This is for a walking stick. Okay, this part is about the stock we use. We basically use anything we can find on the island. Sticks floating in the ocean, in the woods, wherever. Take them, and these are in the rough stage, but we've stripped them down with a knife. This one hasn't been stripped yet over here on the outside right, and we just let them air, sit them in the sun, let them dry. Sometimes we'll get a nice square piece of stock like this from a local cabinet maker who's throwing it out, or this, or we'll use a pallet. Take a pallet and tear it apart, and you've got the base part of the pallet. Problem with pallets is they have holes in them from the nails, so you have to try to avoid those. You got to figure the length and depth of them. Another item we'll use for a shaft will be the handle off a tool. It's already turned for us, so it makes it a lot easier. As you can see from this cane shaft was used with a turned tool shaft. Just clean it up, works out good. If we zoom in on this one, this collar was made from a piece of pipe fitting from a plumbing supply house. Okay, as I said before, you take a pallet and tear it apart, you get a piece of stock. It's got holes and things in it, but you can make a pretty nice cane out of it when you think about it. You just got to trim it up, make it nice. And if you look real close on the eye, we use a bead, inlay it into the wood to make the eye. So as we said, the snake, the eye is made from a bead. It was carved out of a pallet. And that's a snake cane. Once again, we have the flat stock here that we've taken, and I'll turn it over, and we've planed it down on this end round, and we've put a little notch on it. We take and we put a plumbing fitting over the top of it. That's a collar. Now we got a handle. Put it on it. Gives it a little effect. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, who knows. Okay, now this cane was made from that flat stock I showed you earlier, and we took it and used the plane and just plane it right down. This is a two-piece cane. Comes apart here. Unscrew it. Now you have two pieces where you can travel. Put it in your luggage, whatever you'd like to do. Here's the cane that was hanging on the drying rack earlier. And this is on a stick that we just found floating in the water. Got a nice little bow to it at the bottom. This cane here is basically, again, another turn shaft off a tool. We painted the collar this time. Used some black and some gold. Oak handle. And again, the turn shaft makes a nice cane. This cane has a pine handle, I believe. We found it floating around, carved it out. Now, the neck on this one, that's a brass piece of drain tube for a sink. Cut it, set it in there. This cane here was an experiment. I took my hand, traced it on a piece of wood, and carved it the best I could. The shaft took a long time, as well as the hand. The shaft was made to look like a piece of rope, and all this work was done with nothing but files. Just keep filing and filing and up. There's 3 grooves all the way up the whole shaft. And it's supposed to be a piece of rope with a hand holding it. This cane here was made for a friend who wanted a specific item. I don't know what the wood is on the handle. I believe it was a piece of wood we found on the street, but again, this is a turn shaft. Cut a groove in it, put a little gold paint in it. What makes this special, if you take the handle, it unscrews and it has a weapon. The top here, inlaid the top there to screw it together. This section will be on some of the walking sticks. As you can see, I put a cane in with them to show you that a cane's a lot shorter than a walking stick generally. These on the end are just works in progress. We have the whale and the dolphin, and we have the others that will go into more detail. These sticks are also known as hiker sticks. You know, they go through the woods with them. This cobra head walking stick and the dolphin were both made out of a piece of 4x4 found on the street. On the cobra head, you notice we inlay beads for his eyes. Here we have another walking stick. This handle is a piece of redwood, and the stick is one found laying in the woods. This stick has some really nice features of where the bugs eat through it and leave lines and designs. Here we have a walking stick we're working on. It's going to be a whale on top. Still working. And this stick was made from the flat stock, planed down, the spoke shaver and the plane. This walking stick is the dandy stick for the dandy man. It has the brass tip on it with the brass ball for the dandy man. I know a few people that would like that. Here we have a very simple cane slash walking stick. It's a piece of a lemon tree. Originally, when I stripped it down, I was going to take it and cut it and make a regular cane out of it. But after looking at it, I decided to hang on to it this way. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got beautiful grain in it. So instead of cutting it, we kept the knob on the top, took a half-round file and put some grooves in it where your fingers just lock right in. Now you have a walking stick cane. The hiking stick slash walking canes can be fitted with a brass metal tip. You have to taper the bottom of your stock, and you'd slide the brass collar on. The rubber boot, if you unscrew it, you get a point depending on the conditions and where you're hiking. It's a pretty nice feature. In closing, I would like to say that if you've watched this whole video, you're a better person than I. This is the simple view of what I see every day as I make the canes. I'd like to thank Absolute Vodka for their help, and have a great day.